Hello, hello, hi. This is Sean Azimi, and I welcome you. I am excited to share this clip with you. I figured I'd do this clip instead of me explaining it to every single individual. So this way, not only you can always go back to it if you really want to, or you can also share it with your team. So by now you have got your prospecting notebook. I am so excited that you got it. This actually idea came from when I started to really take this whole network marketing and building a residual income thing more serious, if you would, right? So I would be talking to people. I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but I would be speaking to people, and not everybody buys or joins that same day, right? So it'd be like a month after, 2 months after, and I wouldn't remember where I left things off with a person, right? Because if you're talking to like 2 people, 5 people, 10 people a day, after a while, it adds up, right? So I couldn't keep track of what did I talk to Jim last? What did I say to her last? Or what did I do, right? So I had to create a kind of a system, if you would, to help me get more organized in prospecting. So I put it to test, and it works really well for me. And this is a gift from me to you. If you like to use it, I can promise you that it will help you tremendously in your prospecting and being more organized. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this so that you can always have a reference to go back to and kind of know what it is and how to use it properly, right? So you got your favorite color, if you would, right? Notebook, and you have a tab here that says PAL, but we'll get to that in a second. Let me adjust the lighting a little bit. Okay, maybe that helps. Okay, so the first page, when you open the notebook, I actually skip a couple pages just to have some extra room. I don't like to use the first page for some reason. Now, there's a welcome note that is handwritten by myself on the first page. Kind of explains, the last few lines explains the actual purpose of the book or the notebook, or where the idea came from. One thing I want to share with you is that this is only for my team, okay? I have not send this out to anybody else, and at this point I don't want to yet. There will be a time that I will share this with more folks, but right now it's just for our team. And as you build your team, I will send one of these to your team. So this is for our team only. Okay, so first page, the welcome notes, a little story about the notebook, and then the second page, I recommend a couple of things. One is that I recommend you keep this notebook very updated. What that means is every person you speak about the products or the opportunity, I recommend you write them down in the notebook. Every single one, no matter what you say, no matter how far the conversation goes. You want to keep track of your prospects. Even if you said hi to them, would you like to join? You know what I mean? Write their name down, their information down, and I'll show you how and where. But that's the first thing. So you want to keep track of the prospects you speak to. The second thing is you want to be able to track the progress of your prospects. For example, you talk to them, then you send them a link, or you add them to a group, or you have them speak to me, whatever it may be. You want to kind of track their progress. And we use our PAL system or PAL system, and I'll get into that in a second. And then the other thing I recommend is that you keep track of the dates you add each prospect to the groups, right? You know, we have two groups. One is based on all of our products, and the second one is all about the business, if you would. So when you add somebody to the groups and tag them, I want you to keep track of when you did that. Now, there is an example of a couple pages that I create for you. The first one is really going to be the most of the pages in here. It starts with you having a date, right? A date that this is the day that you're starting to talk to people, right? So let's say, for example, it's July 5th, 2019, right? So you write July 5th, 2019, and then the next one, it says follow-ups, right? And then you start writing the names of the people you talk to or you start prospecting that day, right? So the date, so you keep track of the day you're starting to talk to people. How many people did you follow up with that day? And then the list of the names. We'll get into this a little bit more. I'll explain how this works. Now, the second one is how to track the dates of when you added and tagged a prospect into the groups. So we have two groups. We actually have three groups when somebody joins they decides to actually join as a social marketer, and that's you. So we add them to either trying to see this and do this at the same time. We have a group called MHLC, which is the Modern Healthy Living Community. Then we have SRL, which is the Social Retail Live. Then when you join, it's the OV, which is the One Voice. Now, I have what I do here is I put the date of when I actually put somebody in the group, right? And then I put a check mark right next to it, which means that's the date I put them in the group, and the check mark means I actually put them in the group and tag them. Does that make sense? So that kind of makes it really clear. Now, the most exciting part of this notebook, if you would, is my PAL system. This is my prospecting abbreviation list. This is how you can keep track of the progress of your prospects. I'm going to go through each one and I'm going to give you some examples. So like I said, you can always go pause this, go back to it. If items are not clear, you can go back and kind of re-listen to this, and you can share this with your team as well. So it would be a source to always point a prospect, or actually a team member too. Does that make sense? So prospecting abbreviation list, or your PAL. Okay, so the first abbreviation, so I list the abbreviations on the column here, and then I write what they are right next to them. So AE means they are already exposed. What that means is this: if you talk to somebody, you say, "Hey, are you open to taking a look at what I'm doing?" And then you add them or tag them, or you start you send them a clip, or you let them know who we are. They say, "Oh, you know what? I already have been exposed. Somebody else already approached me for this company." So you already know that they have been exposed, right? At that time, I always want to promote to do the right thing, right? If somebody else is exposed through somebody else, then I would leave them alone unless that other person is completely gone and is no longer around, right? But if they're already exposed, then you already know that somebody else has already talked to them, and you jot that down, and I'll show you where and how. AI means they're already in. How many times have you talked to somebody and you say, "You know what, I got a great opportunity. they say, okay, what's the name of the company, or can you send me info? And you do that, and they say, oh, I'm already in. I already buy the products. I already am in the company. Then not much to do there, right? So it's nice to know that you talk to somebody and where they stand. They're already in. ASMG means you added them to social media group, which means one of the groups or another group, whatever group that is related to us, you added them to that group, if you would. ATM is what we do, right? ATM is the whole thing. You added them, you tag them, and you message them. The chances are you are here because somebody or myself, we ATM'd you. So ATM means you ATM them, added them, tagged them, and message them. CLM means you called them and you left them a message. CMI is a good one because sometimes you talk through Facebook chat, right? And you send them, hey, are you open to taking a look at the products or the opportunity? And you can see that they checked your message, if you would, but they haven't responded. So CMI means checked message, ignored, right? CT means you called and you actually spoke to them. CU means you connected them to the upline, me or whoever the upline is that you actually chose to connect your prospect to. E means you emailed them information. EC means they enrolled as a customer. ED means they enrolled as a distributor, or ESM, which means they enrolled as a social marketer. FBC, it's a Facebook chat. You started to speak to them via chat, so the first thing you did, you send them a chat, right? So that's a Facebook chat. FVC, it's a Facebook voice chat. In the messenger, you can actually speak about 1 minute, if you would, and you can speak to them and send the voice, if you will. So this is a voice chat. HFII means they have a friend in the gig, in it. So if you speak with somebody, you approach them, hey, are you open? And they say, oh, you know what? My friend is already in there. Okay, my friend is already promoting it. So what that means is that at this time, again, I recommend you do the right thing and walk away unless that friend is no longer around or what have you. But this indicates that the friend is already in and they have been already exposed. HNC means that they have not checked your chat yet, right? They haven't checked the message yet, so it doesn't show that they have checked it. IC, it's Instagram chat, right? ILE means that you invited them to a live chat. Now, what I want you to do is follow along with me on this list, right? IW means you invited them to a webinar. JAC means they joined another company. You approached them, you spoke to them about the opportunity, and they decided to go to another gig, right? JSE means they joined someone else. This has happened to me so far 9 times where, I have spoken to people, I've talked to people, and they decided to go with somebody else. And they joined our company, but they decided to go with somebody else. At first, it's kind of a hard hit, but, it is what it is, right? So it's nice to have that indication that you spoke to this guy or gal and they joined somebody else. LC means LinkedIn chat, which means you expose them or you share the opportunity with them. You started the conversation with them through LinkedIn, if you would. LLC means they listened to a live call. For example, if we have a kickoff call, if we have a training call, and you invited them and they were able to come on and listen live. LRC means they listen to the recorded call, which means the call was recorded and afterwards you send it to them, you expose it to them, you say, hey, we have a live call this Saturday, you may want to check it out. They say, oh, you know what, I can't, I'm picking up the kids. You're like, all right, no problem, I'll send you the recording, and they do that, right? NFU means need to follow up. This is when you need to follow up with a prospect. And I means they're not interested. This is when you just kind of let go and move on. They're like, you know what, dude, I'm not interested. NM means they have no money. NRN means not right now. Sometimes people don't like to say no. They just say, oh, you know what, it's just not the right timing right now, so not right now, right? NT means no time. They don't have time. They're like, oh, you know what, I'm so busy, I have no time. Okay, you jot that down. So these are the people you can actually go back to, right? You can follow up with. NWBF means they are nowhere to be found. They just vanished, right? You talk to them, you approach them, and they say, yeah, I'm totally interested, or you shared a clip with them, or you ATM them even, and they just go blank. They ghost, right? They're like nowhere to be found. OC means other chat. If you got to see them or got to speak with them through another chat or another social media platform, then you put OC. PAC is one of the ones you're going to use a lot, which means prospected as a customer. So this is somebody that you talk to about products, right? About trying our products, if you would. PTQ means pop the question, which means this is a person you actually asked if they're open to the opportunity. RI, they reviewed the information. Through our app, we are able to send clips and send all kinds of information to a prospect that they can check. Now, once they actually check, the cool thing is the app will let you know that they are on your app and checking out the information. So RI means they reviewed the information. RS means rescheduled. This is when you make an appointment with somebody. They say, you know what, just call me on Tuesday at 3 and we'll talk about it. And then, through back and forth, they reschedule that appointment. So you want to know they rescheduled. S, it doesn't happen a whole lot, but it means sampled. Sampled means, maybe you have a probiotic stick on you and you share that with somebody. SA means you scheduled an appointment, talk to them. They say, just call me back on Tuesday at 3:00 and you scheduled an appointment. SRC, that's shared referral code. That's your referral code that you share with your prospects. They get $10 off their first order. SV means you sent them a clip, you sent them a video, if you would, maybe through the app. It works really well. T, you texted them. TIA, you took it away. This is sometimes there are people that you just don't mix well with, right? You don't connect well, and you just don't want them on your team, right? And it has happened to me before where I've literally just taken the opportunity away and said, you know what, this is not the opportunity, this is not the right team for you. I wish you well. You take the opportunity away. I have a few of those, and I like to know who it was that I did that with. TIP, That means you talk to them in person. You're at the grocery store, at the gas station, you meet a person, they're pleasant, and you want to kind of share the opportunity with them. So you start speaking to them in person. It would be nice to know where that came from, right? TIP. TV means you tag them to a video. This happens all the time, but if you use ATM, you don't have to do TV right next to it, because ATM means you already added them and tagged them, right? TWC, this is one that you would use very often. It's three-way chat. This is when you speak to your prospect, they say they're interested, and then you put them in a three-way chat with me or somebody else in the team that can answer their questions, if you would. Because in the start, you really don't know what to say, what not to say, when to say it, and you don't know all the answers. And here's the thing. You don't need to know all the answers. Everything is within our groups and they can be tagged to the information. But it's nice to take yourself away from the equation and just kind of let an upline take care of their questions and concerns. WAC happens all the time. They are with another company. They're not open to taking a look. No problem. Much love, much respect. We move on. WV, that means they watch the video you sent them. So can you see how useful this PAL system can be in getting more organized with your prospects? I sure hope so, because it's done really well for myself. So then you turn the page and you have this guy, right? So this is an actual page where you keep track of your prospects for that day. So as you can see, I have a date. Okay, so I have a date, Wednesday. I'm trying to focus it. Wednesday, and then right underneath I have follow-ups. Then I have the name. Obviously I have my own name. Now here, if you notice, I have the person's phone number, which is my phone number, right? Then I have all the codes. FBC, which means a Facebook chat. PTQ means I popped the question. ATM, I added them, I tagged them, and I messaged them. T means I texted them. SV means I sent them a video. CT means I called and I talked to them. ESM, they enrolled as a social marketer. How amazing is this system here? Now you're gonna have a bunch of names each day, right? You're gonna have a bunch of names each day, and you're gonna have some of them you're gonna have a phone number for, some of them you're not, but then you're gonna have all these codes that you can refer back to, like where you left somebody off. Let's say, for example, you ATM them, and that's where things were left off at, right? So it's really nice to have that system. It keeps you organized. Sorry, I can't really get this thing in like focus with you, but you get the picture, right? You have one in front of you. And then the other, you have, I have outlined 4 pages, just like that. Now, all you need is really a ruler, okay? And you need a yellow highlighter, because I like to highlight the date so that I can always go back to that date, and I like to keep these nice and organized. So if you check out what spacing I have as far as the lines is concerned, you can do the same thing on the following pages, if you would. So I have 4 of those, right? And the last page that I have done for you is the page that you can actually keep track of the dates, right, of the people you added to the groups, you ATM. So you have the name, you have the group that you added them to, and then the OV means that's when they joined as a social marketer, and you added them into the one voice, right? And you see the check mark right there. So I hope this system really helps you. I hope that you find this system very useful. And look, there's a lot of pages in this notebook, right? And this is what I get from a Target store, right? So by the time you are done with this notebook, okay, by the time you're done with this notebook, by the time the pages are, you're gonna fill out the pages, right? The people you're talking to, the prospects. This is not to take notes on. This is not to carry on as a journal, right? This is only a prospecting notebook. So keep it organized, keep it clean, and by the time you're towards the end of this notebook, you should be on your way to making 6-figure income in this company with me and our team. 6 figures is over $100,000 a year, which is about $8,333 a month, right? Now, obviously, I don't guarantee that, but that's what I'm thinking. If you prospect that many people, you should be doing really well. And you can teach the system to your team. It's very easy to follow. Just refer them to this clip, and they can watch this. Now, this is my own notebook. This is my first notebook, and you can see the pages and what I'm doing here. So the names and the dates, you see, and that's what I'm doing. So this is like, I don't know if you can tell, but so I have the same notebook. I like I said, I worked it, so it makes more sense to me, right? So hopefully you got some love from this live or this clip, and hopefully this gives you a clarity as how to use the notebook, how to use the PAL system, and how to get organized, how to go crush it out there. Know that I'm cheering for you. If there's anything I can do to help you, I am here for you. My team is here for you. We have some of the best mentors in the profession under one umbrella. I am so excited that you have decided to join us. I can't wait to see you crush this thing and reach all your goals and dreams. With that, much love until the next time.